Hi, my name is Jonas. This is Sublime Media, and today I'm doing a recent vinyl finds video. I think this is going to be the last one for this year before I wrap it up and do a best of 2024 finds. But I wanted to file these and also log them so they are included in the top 20 in the 2024 best of, and you will see why. Some awesome records. So yeah, subscribe if you haven't. If you like what I'm doing here, give this a thumbs up and comment. That's the absolute best way to support this channel, really, because it will shoot out to even more people. You know the deal. So please do that. Thank you. Well, let's get straight into it. I'm gonna do the reissues first, and then I'm gonna do to the used vinyl finds, and then I'm gonna top it all off with a handful of grails. Like almost. One is definitely a grail record. The other ones are really hard to find, super expensive, and you know, I'm just keeping you here, so watch all the way to the end. Okay, so reissue. This is Noah by the band Blanco Mental. Obviously a reissue. I think that the original press is just super expensive, but this is actually a test press. Kind of cool. They only released one record in 1973, a little bit more symphonic maybe, the symphonic side of Italian prog, but really, really good. Still exploring Vinyl Me Please. We are not blessed with Vinyl Me Please records here in Sweden, not many at least, but actually I can get them through my distributor now. So if you're interested and you live in like Europe and Sweden, so just give me a call. No, but email me. I can probably get my hands on most or a few of them at least. This is one of them. I bought like 10 just to try it out, see if it would be something for my shop, and oh yes it is. Oh yes it is. So they come with Nobi. This is an essential. Thick cardboard gatefold sleeve. Comes with a booklet, a printed artwork, and a colored vinyl called the pinwheel version. Yeah, amazing sound quality. I think this was cut by Ryan K. Smith. So a premium product comes with a premium price, definitely. But I feel like if you're an audiophile, if you really like the best sound possible, it's a no-brainer, in my opinion. Talking about no-brainers. This is LA Woman by The Doors. So I went to this buddy of mine's house. He played this from his Analog Productions The Doors box set, and I was floored. Like, he played Rise on the Storm, the last track, and I heard sounds that I've never heard before. It was like sitting in the studio, like you had a 3D sound almost. So I went home, ordered these immediately. So I've ordered every single Doors record that they put out. Two LPs, 45 RPM, amazing, still in print. Get this. I know that Rhino just released new versions of it. I know that some people says that they sound better, some say that these sounds better. I don't care. This sounds 11 out of 10. So in my book, this is awesome. If you want to hear the Doors like you never heard the Doors before, if you have a good sound system, that's the pressing for you. So that was the reissues. Let's go to the used vinyl finds, and we're starting off 1971 with Boomerang. I've had my eye on this for many years, but never picked it up, and I kind of did. I wasn't that impressed with this. It's a hard rock record. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint what's wrong. It just doesn't move me. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna marinate it a little bit. If it doesn't cut it the next time I put it on the turntable, it will probably go out in my shop. Next one. This is also like 1969 maybe. Yeah, 1969. First UK stereo copy of this on DRAM. I mean, these are pretty cheap. Get them. Like, they sound great. Music, fantastic. Musicianship. The first 5-10 years after records are must-haves, in my opinion. Like, must-haves, in my opinion. And this was one that I didn't have in my collection. Now, a caveat to that, I think that's how you use that word. I've heard a lot of people use that in YouTube videos now. A caveat to that is, I've had this for over a year. I bought this in a collection for over a year ago. I cleaned it. It's just been sitting there, like wanted to be played. Finally I did. Now it's time to file it. So 10 years after, this is called Stonehenge. Yeah, great one. Alvin Lee, fantastic. I'm gonna start with showing this record. So this record, obviously a test press of a pretty famous Swedish produced Psych record called the DAT Earthood Still by Kim Fowley. If you don't know this record, check it out. 1970, like 71, 72, something like that. He were in Sweden for a period of time, produced, wrote and recorded records. This is one of the few that he did himself, maybe the only one. Looks like this. Here's the backside. There's the man there. Comes with an original in a sleeve, printed in a sleeve, kind of cool. And this is how the second press looks. Mint copy. Sounds really nice. And this is actually one I got like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. I found it on a Facebook market page. Someone sold test pressings, and I got this. Starting to looking for this. So this is the second press. It was put out in 1990, but it's the actual the same press as my test press. Otherwise, I would probably go for a first press, which is maybe a little bit more expensive, but not that much more expensive. So kind of cool to have them both now, in my opinion. So yeah. Yeah, I actually produced. I don't think that he was the performer, but he produced Scorpion, which is a rare-ass Swedish prog record. Still need a first press of that. Maybe one day. Fingers crossed. Okay. Unfortunately, this is the German first press of this. Robin Lent, Scarecrow's Journey, 1971. It's the inside of the gatefold. Looks like that. And this is... Let's label this as a loner folk record, but I can't really like it's a psychedelic folk record. Awesome label on Global. I'm definitely going to seek the first press on Nepetath Records. It's more expensive, definitely. I bought this in Den Bosch. And when I saw it, I was just like, I'll take this with me home. Maybe this will cut it, but it doesn't sound that good. So hopefully the first UK press, sounds better. Almost like I don't think it's in like Acid Archives or one of those books, but I know I read about it in one sort of a list. Okay, moving on. This is one that I've seen many times throughout the years that I've been collecting, especially Swedish prog. This is Storm by Stormvarning, 1973, 4, 5, something like that. A little bit too symphonic for me, but I got it for like great price, so I decided to buy it. It's one of those Swedish prog records that is on Harvest. There's the label there, just like Pantare. But this, it's like a 2.5 out of 5 star record. It's good, but it's just good. Nothing mind blowing at all. A little bit, maybe a little bit too symphonic for me. But a keeper for now. So that one and Boomerang is like, if I don't play it the next 6 months, it's going out in the shop, I guess. So when I go out on Discogs and I find something I want, I often first check what he has, or she has, what he has in my sort of wants. If that if I find anything that I have on my want list, I often sort of buy that also if it's the price is good and stuff like that. I like to bundle, because if I bundle, I can haggle down the price, and some items I keep for myself and some I put out in shop. I think it's a cool way to conduct sort of business and hobby at the same time. Anyway, so this guy, he had maybe 80, 100 records for sale. So I had one of those records that I was interested in. But I went on to look up every single record he had in his sort of for sale stock, and priced pretty high, but not nearly as high as it goes for, but pretty high, was this record I'm going to show you. So the cover artwork sparked my interest. I sampled it. I loved it. It was so damn good. So what this is Acoustica Medal. Look at that. I mean, how can't you be interested in this? This takes off everything that I love about record collecting. So sort of a private pressed loner folk record in the vein of Nick Drake, but in Italy. So an Italian loner folk or folk record. How cool is that? Sounds fantastic. Really nice guitar work on this. Extremely cool, and sort of rare, and sort of after, as I said, takes off everything for me when it comes to record collecting. So for the price it went for, I wouldn't like blind buy it, so I sampled it all, but got it for a great price compared to what it goes for otherwise. So continuing on, this is one that I've also been looking for before I found my first copy. I was looking for this for years and years. It's like, it's not hard to find. They are out there, but for a good price. And this is definitely top 25 Swedish prog records of all time. This is Arbete and Fritid, their first self-titled record, but sometimes it's also called the SO label. Not label, SO record, because she's holding a SO lamp. Yeah, blending jazz, folk and world music, and making the perfect sort of progressive record. This is the second press actually on Sonet Records. The first one had the orange label. I had that. It wasn't in the best shape. This was minty fresh. Actually sounded better. So this was the one that I kept when I found it. Sold the other one. And I'll still look for very, very good or near mint copy of this as an original press. But until I find that, which maybe will never happen, this will do fine. So glad to have a super clean copy of that. So maybe 12-15 years ago there were a Record Store Day edition of this. I think limited to 500 copies maybe. I got that. Knew about it before, but I got that, played it, didn't like it at all. Like I really almost hated it. I think I even I've talked trash about this record on my channel, but many years ago. But it has had a life of its own. I've appreciated much more now. I'm older, I'm wiser. Maybe that has something to do with it, I don't know. But also expectations. I mean, some of these guys, they came from November, heavy ass group, really like in your face power rock. And this is the total opposite. It feels like that anyway, because Saga, they are more of a symphonic prog group in the vein of Genesis. Sounds a little bit like Swedish Genesis. They say it's a continuation of Life, the Life record also, I don't know. And nowadays I love this. Everything from cover artwork to musicians to songs, just magnificent. And look at that cover. I mean, isn't that one of the best covers ever on a Swedish record? Original press on Sonet, great one. Got it for a steal in a Swedish record shop. Just insane. Buddy of mine helped me out getting it. Really good. So thank you so much. You know who you are. Talking about records that ticks off everything on the list when it comes to cover artwork, to music, to the label, musicians, songs, everything. This is one of those records. It's rare. I wouldn't say a GRAIL record, but it's almost like a GRAIL record. I'm talking about Blåkulla, the Swedish heavy rock record, maybe a little bit heavy prog, on DAT Records 1974-75. 75. Let's say 75. I don't know how many they pressed, but it can't be that many. So the most interesting thing I think about this is the Annette label. Looks like that. It was a dance band label. Came from a guy in Cool Candies. He wanted to release his records and songs, the Cool Candy records, on his own label. Have total control. So it's just like, for me at least, shit all the way through. Like 7 inches LPs, so much released, everything is total shit, except for this. And how this came through the cracks, I have no idea. If it's like friends to him or family members, I don't know. This and one more record, here's the original inner sleeve, and one more record called Sound Express, also on the Net label, came through the cracks, released, and are super sought after today. I have them both now, which I'm super happy with. The only two records you need from the Annette label out of 500 records that they record. I don't know. Awesome, super cool cover artwork also, and in minty fresh condition. Pretty glad to add that to the collection. 16 minutes. Okay, shit. This is gonna be a long one. No one told me about the Jean before. Managed to pick up a pretty big pile of Kraut records maybe 9 months ago, something like that. Cleaned them, played them, most of them at least. This just now, I've been waiting too long to play this, but I have 400 records I think that is clean but not played yet. So I buy collections and I buy individual records in a pace that is just, I don't have time to play them. It's like maybe 2025 is the year where I actually play my music instead of just buying and selling music. This is on the Bellafon Basilisk Records label, minty fresh copy, first German press, and this is the krautrock that I love. They released 3 records. I don't know how it is with the first one, but this I think is the second one, and the third one are awesome. Really good. The sort of the heavy Kraut that I love and enjoy the most. And I love this too. This is also a Kraut record. This is more ambient, maybe in more like a Ashra Temple kind of thing. But Muto's also a great band, but you have to be in the mood for it. I've played it twice, and it's like, it's good. It's a cool one on a cool label with a cool cover artwork. The music is very beautiful, like. But this is not the music that I listen to right now. So, yeah, Kosmische Music. Maybe, or maybe, I know that I will appreciate this. And I appreciate this. But, like, this has to marinate in the collection. Goes into the collection now. Maybe I'll pull it out like 6 months ago, month in the future. And it will just, like, blow me away. I have no idea. Not right now. I've said that Culpepper's Orchid from Denmark is one of my favorite records, if not my favorite Scandinavian record of all time. So, some connection. This is, I mean, when I heard this, I've heard this before, like I sampled it, great music. Like I have had it on my want list, but it hasn't been like one of those top wants. So when I saw it for a killer price, I was just like, yeah, I'd buy it. And when I put the needle on this one, I get goosebumps just talking about it. I was blown away. Like, this is the best sort of heavy blues that you can imagine. Like, and it has everyone on it. This is Peter Torup with Friends. Wake Up Your Mind. Like 71, I think. He later ventured on to projects with Alexis Corner, I think it was. And look at that. I mean, shit, look at that artwork inside of the gatefold, like almost cooler than this, which is also bonkers. So yeah, you have the who's who of Danish progressive musicians in the 70s. Guys from Burning Red Ivanhoe, Day of the Phoenix, Rödemor, Culpepper's Orchid, you know, everyone helped out making this magnificent record. Philips, great one. Check it out. I mean, it went high up on my top favorite Scandinavian records. I have to tell you that. Like it's maybe on my top 25 of Scandinavian records. Masterpiece, fucking masterpiece. Also in Dan Bosch, this was in a price at a price point that I could actually like buy it without really have sampled it before, and I'm so glad I did. On my want list I have the UK first press, and it's super expensive, so that's one that I have to listen to it more before I would buy it for that price and so forth. But this is a Dutch first press, and it had, the last day I haggled it down as a fuck, and it had a beautiful like anyway, so I got it for a great price. This is Judy Grind with 4 Canal, also beginning of the 70s, like 1970, July 1970. Amazing record. This sounds like a jazzier King Crimson. Insane. On the Transatlantic label, but Dutch, as I said. So I'm really on the hunt for a first UK press of this. I need it in good shape. So I'll have this until then, and then I can sell this. It goes for pretty much this also, so it's not a super cheap record, but the price I got it for the last day at Dan Bosch was maybe half of what it goes for on Discogs. Moving on, this was the first real sort of record with oomph that I got in Dan Bosch. This is Stone Aged Man, also 1970 I think, or 69. Feels like it was so ahead of its time, by YOSEPH. The only record that he did, or they did, he did. And I read a review, and someone said that the sound of this is actually exactly like the cover artwork. Feels like a bat or a club right in your face. On Scepter Records, I think small record label, I might be mistaken. Not a known major label, at least. So this has been on a want list forever. Heavy as shit. Awesome. If you don't know it, check it out. But I think that most of you who follow my channel actually know that one. So this next record, I'm going to show you one that is related, and then I'm going to show you the actual record. This is one from my collection, and sort of spurred me into a topic of a video maybe, and that is the records, top 10 records you regret selling or trading. This is definitely one of them. So let's start here. This is Show Funky Down Here with James Brown. Plays and directs the James Brown Band instruments. This is produced by a guy called Dave Matthews on the King label, and you have down there, you can see it vaguely, James Brown production. This is a masterpiece. Check this out and get it. It costs next to nothing. But at the same session, or almost, like the same week at least, same musicians, but minus James Brown, came this on People Records. Almost dropped it. This is the Grodek Whipperjany record, 1971, I think it's 71. And this is also a product of James Brown, as you all can see. But James Brown has sort of nothing to do with this, except for like studio and musicians and, you know, all that. So maybe I produced. But this is Dave Matthews record. Totally a Dave Matthews record. It could as easily have said just Dave Matthews on here, but he called himself the Grodek Whipperjany, or they did. This is an amazing psychedelic funk record. I have never heard something that sounds like this. It's not funk and it's not psychedelic. It's the melting pot of both those genres, and it's fantastic. This has become super rare, really hard to get, and very expensive. So when I had to, you don't have to do anything, but when I had to trade this for a rare Psych piece, I thought that I wouldn't regret that, but I've been regretting it ever since. Like for years now, I've regretted losing this from my collection. This has songs that I notice myself like singing in the car or in the shower. I'm tapping my feet to the rhythms of Sitting Here on a Tongue, magnificent record or track. So yeah, finally back in the collection. Will never ever let this go again. It's a damn keeper. And the funny thing is that a friend of mine on Instagram, he just sent me a message, said that he found this or traded or whatever, and it was, I don't know if it was too funky for him or if it was too psychedelic, but something along that line. And he asked me if I had any trades, so we traded. I'm very happy that I got the opportunity to do that. I had to let go 3 pretty cool jazz records for it, but I don't regret it. So, last but not least, and if you've stuck around this long, this is a true grail in every sense of the word. This is a true Kraut grail. I never thought that I would own this 6 months ago. No, but 8 months ago. I had no idea this even existed. So I'm not like, I haven't been looking for this for 10 years or something like that at all, but just like circumstances, you know. So this summer I went to Berlin. I went to Torsten at Holy Shit Records. He played something in the speakers. I was blown away. It sounded so heavy. I thought almost it was a new music. And he told me it was a band called Baumstamm with On Tour. He had a reissue of that, came with a 7-inch also and stuff like that. So I bought it from him, played it. I mean, it's so fussy and so heavy that it makes Slayer look like a kindergarten party, you know. It's insane. Private pressed. I think it's private pressed. I'm pretty sure it's private pressed. So I have that. I play that. I love that. And a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, reached out to me, said that he actually found a second original press in slightly better condition, but his duplicate, his first, was in perfect shape, like in really good shape. So he asked me if I wanted to buy it before he threw it out there that he had 2 copies, and I didn't need to think about it too long. It was the most expensive record I have ever bought, with money that I wasn't planning on flipping, if that even makes sense. But I got it for a great price. He's so damn nice to me. So I was super glad, and people started to harass him as soon as he put out that he had 2 copies of it. Came with the original booklet, and there's the label there. Great quality, except for a pressing fault. That is what it is. Makes a swooshing sound through half of side 1 and half of side 2. But I'm not complaining. Like, you don't see this at all. This is like Dylan from Noble Records rare. Rare record. Yeah, if you were looking forward to my number one spot this year for rare records, then you will be gravely disappointed, because this is it. I mean, my top 24 find is definitely this. So this is going to be the crown jewel of that list. Obviously it's going to be that. So I think that number 2 to 15, or whatever I choose to do, is going to be the more interesting list. So on tour with Baumstamm. Thank you so much for watching. Half an hour. Fuck. Yeah, sorry for keeping you waiting. I'm going up to my family now. Keep on celebrating Christmas, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.